statement on the issue of compensation of victims of demonstration related. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the President for following up on his word on 10-point agenda by ensuring that 10 billion was allocated and provided for. Mr. Speaker, the sponsor of Linda Mwananchi, Uhuru Kenyatta, in the last session committed 10 billion. That money never came out, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we must be honest.
Senator Cherargei.
Yes, sir.
Be factual in your statements. Be factual in your statement.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, I can confirm when the state of...
What is the point of order, Senator for Nairobi City Count?
Speaker, with all due respect, there is a rule and procedure on how people are required to be factual. And I would really request that you follow that standing order so that some of the pronouncements that have come from Senator Cherargei are subjected to our standing orders. If he's not able to provide evidence that he's actually being factual, that Linda Mwananchi is sponsored by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, he should withdraw that statement, Honorable Speaker, from the Hansard, or the consequences that follow naturally should follow. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Fernandez, you either proceed to substantiate that assertion you've just made, that Linda Mwananchi is being sponsored by the former president. If you don't have, if you're not in a position to substantiate, then just withdraw, apologize, and proceed.
Mr. Speaker, can I be allowed tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and therefore it is honest because during the State of the Nation address, and Senator Ledama was there, Senator Madzai was there, Senator Wambua, former president committed 10 billion Kenya shillings, and it is on the answer to compensate historical injustice and victims, but it never followed through, Mr. Speaker. So we must appreciate that the president went ahead, ensure that the compensation panel is there, Mr. Speaker. I am happy 674 million has been paid to 505 victims, Mr. Speaker. And in fact, what struck me out is on the issue of sexual violence, Mr. Speaker, that at least 1 million, I know we can never get lives back, we can never get dignity back, but that is the least we can do as a country. You know, we need to be honest. When I see my colleagues pontificating themselves, the fact that people were killed is very unfortunate. But we must how to rewrite. And that is why the government has come up on how we can compensate some of these victims. Even from my own county, I want the young people who are beaten up playing pool table in Nandi Hills Town to be compensated. Police allegedly killed my people in Kimwani over land skirmishes, Mr. Speaker. Even in Angata Baragoi, in Narok, there are many Kenyans who have been killed there. We would want them to be compensated. But there must be a procedure, and we must appreciate the goodwill of President William Ruto and his government in partnership with the ODM leader, Dr. Uhuru Oginga, Mr. Speaker. We must celebrate that, Mr. Speaker. And we must also appreciate the freedom of speech, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Hezana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I rise to contribute to the statement by Senator Osotsi, the Senator for Vihiga County, on the implementation of the government's compensation and reparation program for victims of demonstration-related violence. Mr. Speaker, while I appreciate the President of Kenya, in partnership with my party leader, Dr. Uhuru Odinga, in ensuring that we have compensation for the victims of demonstration activities, but then I can't, I do not know whether the compensation will actually heal these families. I think there is also a need to ensure that the families get counseling, guiding and counseling to ensure that the trauma, they survive or come out of the trauma that these families and communities have gone through. And with the same breath, Mr. Speaker, I would wish that we start treating all Kenyans fairly, all Kenyans equally, across the divide, from south to north, from east to west, because each community, Mr. Speaker, deserves to be compensated for the lives it has lost. When we talk about the north, every day we are going through banditry. Our people are being killed on a daily basis. Our people have died in Samburu East, in Samburu North, in Samburu West, in Turkana. We have lost both Turkanas in Charda and Samburus in Loiborngare, Mr. Speaker. But we never hear about any compensation. These people are treated like flies. They deserve to die. They are treated like children of a lesser God. But it looks like their lives that are more precious in this country than others, Mr. Speaker. It is important that we are told who is going to fight. When committees like NADCO going to be formed to speak and defend the people in the northern parts of the country and among marginalized and pastoralist communities, Mr. Speaker. Just within this past week, we have lost 3 lives. Our people cannot sleep in Poro, they cannot sleep in Loiborngare, they cannot sleep in Charda. But who talks about compensation? The moment the government starts to stretch its long arm, as we are told, to every part of this country, this is the day we will say, indeed, this compensation is worthy. Our lives are precious. Every Kenyan citizen matters, and it is the right of the government to ensure protection of every Kenyan citizen. Mr. Speaker, every time we lose our livestock, our people are sent back to square one. They have to start from the ground up. But here, when we hear farmers are being attacked, a small attack, compensation. But when pastoralists are attacked, nobody's talking about compensation, Mr. Speaker. That is such an unfair way of treating Kenyans. And while I fully agree that the...
Now, Honorable Senators, the 15 minutes allocated to comments have long lapsed. We will there proceed to the next order. And before I allow the clerk to call the next order, kindly allow me, pursuant to Standing Order 45-2, to rearrange today's order paper and move straight to order number 21. Clerk, you may proceed to call that order.
Order number 21, motion. Consideration of a report of the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on its consideration of a petition to the Senate by Mr. Laban Umusundi regarding the enactment of a legal framework to provide for recall of president or a governor through a citizen initiative.
Chair Jalak, is there somebody? Senator Manzo.
I have. Okay. Yeah, Madam Speaker, I would wish to move this report on behalf of the Chair of JLAC, the Honorable Wakil, who is not around today. Madam Speaker, on Thursday, 12th February 2026, the Speaker of the Senate reported that a petition had been received from Mr. Laban Omusudi, a citizen of the Republic of Kenya.
Senator Manzo?
Yes.
Please just, what you need to move it as written, eh? Please approach the chair for guidance.
My apologies, Senior Senator Uhuru had picked my order paper back, so let me do it the way you have guided. Okay.
Okay, you may proceed.
This is consideration of a report of the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on its consideration of a petition to the Senate by Mr. Laban Omusudi regarding the enactment of a legal framework to provide for recall of the president or a governor through a citizen initiative. The Standing Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs I move that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on its consideration of a petition to the Senate by Mr. Laban Omusudi
Honorable Senators, can we have some calm?
regarding the
Please.
enactment of a legal framework.
Senator Manzo, just hold on. Honorable Senators, let's have some calm so that we hear that report in silence. Thank you. Proceed.
Regarding the enactment of a legal framework to provide for recall of the president or governor through a citizen initiative laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 11th June 2026. Madam Speaker, I would like to go through the report, and I will say that the Committee of Justice considered this petition, whereby, Madam Speaker, through Article 36 of the Constitution, any citizen, any Kenyan is free to make a petition to this House, Madam Speaker, and the petition be presented, read out as the Speaker did, and then considered by the Senate, and a report made, Madam Speaker, of which is that is what we did. And I would like to take members through the report so that they can see what we concluded as a committee on behalf of the Senate, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on Thursday, 12 February 2026, once the Speaker put this framework, Honorable Speaker, the committee backed on its consideration of the petition, whereupon it held meetings with the petitioner to better understanding of the background, rationale, and justification of the proposed amendments. The committee further invited and received written responses from the Office of the Attorney General, the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, the Kenya Law Reform, and the County Assemblies Forum. A summary of the petition is also set out in Chapter 1 of the report, while an overview of the submission received from the stakeholders is set out in Chapter 2. And at the same time, Honorable Speaker, we have presented the petition is also annexed here so that members can also check. You will find this in the tablet. It is there. The report is in the tablet. Members can look at it while I present. And also, Madam Speaker, I'm going to summarize so that members can get a feel of what we did as a Committee of Justice. Honorable Speaker, having considered the petition and submissions received from